On today's episode, we're going to discuss about the insurance industry and insurance brokering in Sri Lanka. And to do so, we have with us Ms. Roshinis Silva, the Chief Operating Officer of the Colombo Reinsurance Brokers Private Limited. And to know more about who this individual is, let's have a look at the character profile.
Roshinis Silva is the Chief Operating Officer of Colombo Reinsurance Brokers. She is a performance-oriented individual with over 15 years of business administration and business development experience in the insurance industry. After completing her studies at St. Clair's College, Ballabatha, she started a career at Finlay's Insurance Brokers as an insurance clerk and joined Eagle Insurance as an insurance assistant, where she witnessed the transitions from Eagle, Aviva NDB to AIA and was promoted to the executive level. In 2013, she joined Janashakti as a team leader, and after a short stay at Janashakti, she joined Colombo Reinsurance Brokers as a business development manager. She got promoted as the general manager in 2016 and chief operating officer in 2020. She holds a Master of Business from Asia E University. She's also an ex-president of BNI Sri Lanka Abundance Chapter and also a committee member of Sri Lanka Insurance Brokers Association. She is the gold winner in the General Insurance Executive category awarded at the National Sales Congress in 2015. She has a very energetic team at Colombo Reinsurance Brokers and believes in giving them the best comforts to get the best results. As a family woman, she always supports the girls who are working with her to have a balanced life with zero regrets. Roshini's passion is a profession where she always tries to exceed her clients' expectations.
Ms. Roshini, and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Prashant. It's glad to be here with you today.
All right, so let's begin with a brief introduction about how you began your career.
Yeah, Prashant, soon after I finished my A-levels, I joined a company called Finlay Insurance Brokers into the insurance industry. That's my start at a very junior level. And during that period, I learned a lot about insurance principles, basics, about how you handle claims, because it was a back office job. But while I was working there, I always knew my passion is into marketing. What I've always wanted to do is sales and marketing. So I was looking for a few options, and then I got an opportunity to join Eagle Insurance at that time. And during my period of closer to 5 years to closer to 7 years there, I experienced the transitions from Eagle to Aviva to AIA, a multinational company. Whilst having that experience, I joined Janashakti Insurance as a team leader, where I handled a team of 13 individuals. During that period also, I had chance of having an experience of corporate sales, to go to corporates and do insurance. And after that, in 2013, I joined Colombo Insurance Brokers as a business development manager. From that point onwards, it's closer to 10 years now, so I got promoted to general manager, and then now I'm the COO there.
Okay, now what is insurance brokering exactly?
Okay. It's like this, Prashant. When it comes to insurance, you have 3 choices where you can buy insurance from. So number 1 would be directly from the insurance company, and number 2 would be through an agent, which means who is licensed to work with one insurance company. And number 3 would be through an independent insurance broker. Insurance broker is someone who is regulated by Insurance Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka, who works as an intermediary between a highly technical insurance company and a client. So the positivity and the advantage you have, someone have when going through a broker is, broker knows what he's doing. When client comes to us with his expectation and with his risk, we actually know what his requirement and what are the options. And when you want to shop for insurance, we do that shopping for you. We go to all the insurance companies, we give your risk, we get the options, and we prepare that comparison, and we advise you. We advise our client what are the best options in the market, and we give him the recommendation. So if you go through the recommendations with a broker, your claims are properly handled, your claims are actively handled, and you are very well informed about your options, and your choices are unlimited. And especially with the current market, it is not that easy to get terms from the local market. So insurance broker would always have that opportunity and capability, go to the overseas markets, go to reinsurers and find options for you. Whatever the risk it is, there are options in the world market. So that is the basic idea of a broker, because whilst the agent carries the picture of the insurance company, what a broker would do is the broker would always represent the client. So he will always make sure that clients' interests are very well protected.
Okay. Tell us a bit about Colombo Reinsurance Brokers.
So Colombo Reinsurance Brokers is a leading insurance brokering company in Sri Lanka, and we have about 10 years plus history in insurance brokering. I think we are one of the leading insurance broker who has marked his presence in more than 5 to 6 global countries globally. We are very strong in South African region as well. There are a lot of blue chip companies with Colombo Insurance Brokers who gets our professional service, and most of the companies' leading risks are insured through Colombo Insurance Brokers. And like I said, I have a very energetic team with 25 employees plus some agents, and we highly believe in young blood getting into this industry. And we have 4 core values: trustworthy, protection, respectable and solutions. Whoever who comes to Colombo with a risk, we will make sure we find them the best solution. So that's Colombo Insurance Brokers.
Okay. Talking about the insurance industry in Sri Lanka, how is it compared to maybe some of the competitors in the surrounding region? How is the insurance industry in Sri Lanka?
Prashant, insurance is actually a global service. It's a global service, but with the COVID pandemic, like any other industry, insurance is also downgrading. The market growths are not that good in the insurance industry globally. If we take Sri Lanka as an industry, our penetration here is 1.4%, which is very, very low compared to global market. Global penetration is about 7%. If we take North America, it's about 11%. Asia Pacific is again 5.3%. So our market is not that great in insurance. So that 1.4%, that doesn't mean that we are not growing. We are growing as an industry, but we have a huge potential. So everyone in the, not only the people, everyone has that, should be educated properly on insurance. If you go to any other country, you know, everyone is insured. You don't have to worry about your medical facilities or anything as such. But here it's not like that. It's because of these free medical facilities and all that, you don't have that urge in getting an insurance policy. But when you go to a government hospital, you know how hard it is get a facility. So it is our duty. We are also doing that as a community, as a broker community, or with the support of the Insurance Regulatory Commission. We are trying to educate the people about the need of insurance. Because see, when you have insurance, your risk is protected. You don't have any risk. You can go on with your business or with your personal life, because that is take care of the third party. When you have insurance, let's say, I know all the motor vehicles are insured here, but you see a third party insurance policy is only 1,000 rupees. What can you do with 1,000 rupees now? If you want to have a proper cover, if this insurance is actually pooling the risk, if the base is much bigger, the premiums will get lower. And in other countries, third party insurance is just like having a comprehensive insurance. But here it's not like that. So we all have that, we all have to make sure that the public, the people is very well educated about the need of the insurance.
Right.
So we all have to work towards that.
Now, just out of curiosity, how do we bump those numbers up? You said we are significantly lower than some of the other regions, especially comparing countries like North America.
Yeah.
How do we get those numbers up?
It's basically, Prashant, what we have to do is, we have to educate the society. We have to do some educational programs as a government. here we don't, even the government is not funding for insurance. No, if you take the workers, let's say the tea factory workers, we should give them a proper insurance. Or the fishers or the farmers, we can always insure them, because they are all the people who needs insurance. Even the corporates, most of the corporates now, they have some sort of insurance cover, but not that, you need to have a proper cover. So you need to very well educate the society. So it's always would be the regulatory commission or the insurance company, or plus the brokers. We all have to work hard to educate the people and to show them the importance of insurance, importance of having a cover. And during the riot which happens very recently, most of the properties were not insured. If the properties were insured, you will, of course it's not a good thing to happen, but your risk is very well covered. Then you don't have to worry about facing the future. You don't have to begin from the scratch again, because your risk is covered. So that is very important. We educate the public, we educate everyone how important insurance is.
Right. Now, coming back to your profession and your designation, being the COO of a company is not an easy task. How do you manage your work-life balance?
Work-life balance, yeah, for that I have to give the credit to my husband. I have 3 beautiful kids, so he always supports me, my family, my mother, my in-laws, so I get the support from everyone. So this work-life balance, when you have a passion of your profession, then you start to love your job. When you love your job, it doesn't mean that you don't love your family. You love your family as well. You have to make sure your kids' educations, their extracurricular activities, all are very well taken care of. So it is always, the best is to manage your time. Time is very precious. Even when you are at your home with your kids, that time you spend with them is very precious. And just like that, similar to that, when you are at work, the time you spend there, the work you do is precious. So time, I would say time management is the key, and your passion, that is second. So make your profession the passion, and everyone, if you have a supportive family, it will definitely help you to balance your work life.
Right.
That is the key.
Now, do you have any tips on time management, maybe some shortcuts that you take?
There are no any shortcuts to success or balancing things. It's just a matter of how you handle your relationships. How you handle your relationships with your family, within your family, and with your team. That is very important, because let's say I'm not doing a job which is 8 to 5 or 9 to 6. Being a businesswoman, being in a hierarchy of a company, I can't stick to this time frame, but I should know how I should manage that. I can always I have a very good team, so if you have a good team, you can always pass some of your responsibilities to your colleagues. Like that, when you're in your family, you can pass some of your responsibilities to your husband. So it's always that understanding, and how you treat them, that kind of a same treatment you will get.
Right.
That's the support that you need from the family as well as from your work team.
Okay. Now, from the time you left school and all the way your journey to getting where you are now, what are some of the obstacles you faced, and what are some of the ways you were able to overcome those obstacles?
Obstacles would be just like during this period, like for a female, there is a thing called glass ceiling. So it's not that easy to break. Because I don't like that factor where we learn, we get all our education qualifications done, and all the hard work we put in, and then again we put into this kind of a box saying that glass ceiling is there for a female leaders. So it's not that. So I also faced the same thing during my career. So being a woman, being a female marketer, it's not that easy. When we go to clients, the questions that we get, the acceptance that we get is not so fascinating like what a men would get. So it wasn't easy, and I did my MBA whilst I was carrying my second child, so I was pregnant at that time. So all these things were not easy, but like I said, Prashant, what is important is managing your time and managing your relationships. If you know what you are doing, if you love your thing, if you put your heart and soul into what you do, I think that is the secret. And there are no shortcuts to success. That's what my belief is. You have to work hard, you have to be loyal for what you do. If you do that, all these obstacles, I also had many obstacles in my life. So I somehow try to break all the obstacles and come here to where I am today.
Right. And what are your thoughts about the importance of gender equality in the workplace?
Yes, gender equality is no matter what, Prashant, still in Sri Lanka, we don't, I'm not someone who would fight for these equal rights and all that, but still in Sri Lanka, we are not there. Globally, in other countries, most of the corporates, most of the companies are headed by females, just as similar as the men. So once even Dalai Lama has said you need to have compassion leaders. Compassion leaders means female leaders, because biologically we are more sensitive and we know about others' well-being. But still being that, we are not that accepted when it comes to management, when it comes to decision making. If you take the current parliament, the female representation is less than 5%, where we have the policy makers. We know, actually as women, we know how we should carry the weights, because we carry the weight of our families, we carry the weight of what we do, we are trying to be financially independent. We all have that need, but still in Sri Lanka, the females are not that accepted even in the workplace. Let's say when you are giving the promotions, when you are giving the increments, they always look at this gender, which is not correct. If you are very well educated, if you have the qualifications, if you work hard, if you achieve your targets, if it is marketing or field like that, if you achieve the your targets, gender should not be a problem. If you can give yourself, if you can put your heart and soul into what you do, gender should not be a problem. We should be accepted in every area like men. We are not fighting for equal rights or anything. We need what we deserve. A company should, Sri Lanka should work for that. Globally, the situation is much more different than here, because we see a lot of top positions are filled with women, female, now managements, but here a long way to go.
Right. And what would be your advice for the female entrepreneurs listening out there to get to a high position despite the discrimination and just to keep on chasing their goals?
Yes. So when it comes to female entrepreneurs, what you should understand is you are the showrunner in your series. You are the showrunner, so that boss lady in your dreams. So don't ever settle in your dreams. Achieve. You have to, because whatever said and done, the decisions what you take may be right, may be wrong, but it's your business, so it's your thing. So don't fear for failures. Work hard, drive hard, and don't settle in your dreams. It's not wrong to have the entire cake and wanting to eat it. If it's your cake, you eat it. So like that, you have to work hard, because now like you asked, for the success there are no any shortcuts. You have to work hard, especially when you are an entrepreneur. In a country situation, and when you take the economic situation, it's not that easy for an entrepreneur. There may be a lot of downfalls, but you don't have to be worried. You always have to stand strong and be ambitious. Be ambitious and don't be scared, and always try to get into a collaboration rather than into a competition. Where these women, the entrepreneurs go wrong is they are trying to get into competitions. You should not get into competition. Try to get into a collaboration where you know what you are doing. You have to work, because we should not always limit ourselves thinking we are female entrepreneurs. We also have the same opportunities. The universe gives you all the opportunities what it gives to the men as well. You just have to grab those opportunities. You should not settle in your dreams. Dream big. Sky is the limit for everyone. So you have to dream big, like I said. Have the cake and try to eat the entire cake if the cake is yours.
Right. Well, thank you so much for that valuable advice. And that concludes today's program of Business Today. That was Ms. Roshini Silva, the Chief Operating Officer of Colombo Reinsurance Brokers Private Limited. Thank you for being with us this evening.
Thank you so much, Prashant.
And that winds up today's episode of Business Today. Do join us next time as well for the very latest. Till then, have a good night.